Hey everyone, I'm Alex Capiello. We are live here. I'm here with
I'm Todd Capiello.
the
We're
Todd
cousins.
Father.
Yeah, Todd Father.
The
over here.
Todd
We got
Father. How you doing,
Alex,
buddy?
the executioner over
Yeah,
here.
the executioner. Yeah, right. So, Todd, good to have you here, man,
Yeah,
on the
thanks.
show.
Good to be on,
Upper Moreland legend, defensive tackle, defensive end /
He's
linebacker.
overstating, but yeah. Senior year played Uppermoreland football, outside linebacker, defensive end. Also, I work at Montgomery County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, what do you do for them? And a Marine too.
Yeah, and a Marine. So my sports background is really just Philadelphia sports and mostly Eagles and Flyers. Dabble in Sixers and Phillies. They're tough to watch right now.
Oh, they are. I don't know about these Flyers. Again, a 3-0 loss last night.
Yep.
Another lackluster performance. Again, looks slow. The Devils just seem like they pass that puck, zip, zip, zip. And the Flyers just seem like they're always
defense just
behind.
not giving any help to the goalie, trying to
leave him hanging
put
out
up
to
no
dry.
points, leave him hanging out to dry. 9 points out of the playoff spot. I just don't see them turning it around whatsoever. They just fired the head coach. You talked about that on your last show.
Yeah, unfortunately, they went through 3 Stanley Cup head coaches in the last 11 years. So at this point, I've given up.
Yeah,
You got to sell the team. You got to sell the team.
Well, you got to. The players got to go. They've all been through multiple coaches now, and sometimes you got, like you said, you got to look at, is it the players or is it the coaches? And they've had a couple good coaches come in here that have won Stanley Cups, been in playoffs multiple times with multiple other teams, and here we are again.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you keep doing the same things and expect different results, usually you're just going to be stuck doing the same thing and having the same results. It's just terrible.
But on a good note, Sixers did win 110-106 against the Hornets. So
And Embiid,
had a monster game.
32, 8-4. Curry, 23, 8-4. They still need to bring. They're not a championship caliber team without Ben Simmons. Even with Ben Simmons, they haven't gotten past the second round. So they need to do something if they want to go far in the playoffs, because the process obviously hasn't worked.
I mean, I'll tell you this: Seth Curry without Seth Curry, you this whole Simmons thing would be even worse. At least you got a guy who came in and is now putting up consistent points for you, and I think he's playing a lot better in Philly.
I would have to say you're right. I mean, I thought Seth Curry was a solid bench guy,
coming
but
off, six man.
He's improved under his father-in-law. Doc Rivers is his father-in-law. How about that?
Now he's the starting shooter in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons. Look. I like that the Sixers ownership and GM Daryl Morey are waiting patiently. Look, everything that's been going on with this situation is really and really the NBA players basically running the league, signing contracts. You sign a contract, they don't honor the contracts, and these owners are stupid enough and GMs to let them sit and not play and collect a paycheck. That's ridiculous. So what they're doing, finding Ben Simmons and saying, look, we're going to wait for the best deal for us to make, because you are an all-star, and we consider you more than that, a superstar. So we're going to wait for the best offer, and you're going to sit and either you're not getting paid, you're going to get fined, or you are going to play for us.
I mean, I think the situation was avoidable. We kind of all saw it coming. I feel like after years and years of watching a player not develop a shot and consistently, good defense player just doesn't, and he's selfish. You can see that on the court. But
he's not a tough guy.
Yeah, he's
soft.
Not, yeah, and personally, you had a chance when you had Jimmy Butler here, and
yes.
You could have kept Jimmy Butler. And you could have
right.
signed him. You could have let Tobias walk if you wanted to, if you wanted that max contract, and then you could have traded Simmons right then and there for somebody else. And now you would have Seth Curry on this team. You'd have
Seth Curry. You'd have Danny Green.
Yeah.
You'd have Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid. Jimmy Butler actually, he and Ben Simmons he had a problem with Ben Simmons. He didn't like the way Ben Simmons' attitude was, and a lot of people buried Jimmy Butler for that. And when he left along with J.J. Redick, people blame Jimmy Butler because they felt that he was a problem child because he was a problem supposedly in Chicago and in Minnesota. But if you look at the situation, he flourished in Miami.
I'll tell you this.
Ben Simmons is
Jimmy
was
Butler,
the problem.
Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid had a better chemistry than Ben Simmons
yeah.
and Joel Embiid. I'll tell you that much. And
Ben
it
Simmons
would have been a nice compliment for Joel Embiid. Instead, now he's got nothing.
Now he's got nothing. He's got a couple guys that are average players, but other than that, he doesn't have anything. Yeah,
I mean, can't really
look. Damian Lillard. Who do you get rid of along with Simmons for Damian Lillard? It's obviously got to be a pick or two involved.
Yeah, well, if you give away a pick, a player I would like to keep
Maxey.
Yeah, Maxey.
I love Maxey.
And Tybalt. And I would look at trading either Shake Milton or Cork Maz in a possible trade for Lillard paired with Simmons.
So you would get rid of Simmons, Cork Maz, Tybalt, and a first-round pick?
I would want to keep Thibault.
You can't keep both Maxey and Thibault because then Portland's going to be like, well, we're not going to just take Korkmaz and Simmons, and a pick. Korkmaz isn't that great of a player.
Yeah, but then you lose defense without Thibault.
Yeah, he doesn't provide you much offense.
No.
So, I mean, at this point, it's like you still have Danny Green, who plays defense. He's old.
True.
He's 34 years old, but he does give you excellent defense.
I mean, I guess at this point you're just looking for the best return.
Well, you're looking for an all-star.
Yeah.
You're only getting Damian Lillard, and he's only going to probably give you 3 years because he's 31 years old, 3 or 4 years. So you're going to have to give up something to get something. Maxey can always turn into a better defensive guy than what he is. Thibault doesn't give you much offense, but he's a hell of a defensive player. So you're losing Simmons and Thibault, which are two great defenders, but you're also getting a certified all-star, superstar in Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I mean, I would go forward on it if that was the offer. If we could get that done, but it doesn't seem like that's coming anytime soon.
Looks like Daryl Morey is gonna, wait, and I don't blame him, Beal. You don't want anything less.
Anything else than you can do?
Bradley Beal.
You've had offers come across the table, but you don't like them, and I don't blame them because none of the offers that have come by have been ones that you would be in a better spot.
I agree.
I'd rather just keep Simmons on not even on the court and just find him.
Yeah, just keep continuing to find him. Look, say you're more than welcome to come, show up, play. We could use you, and you know what? Maybe you can shoot a jump shot once in a while. I mean, I don't understand. I seen the kid play at LSU.
You come in the kid and be like, "Hey, you want to get out of here? You want to leave?
Improve your game. Shoot.
Improve your game. Show us on the court. Give us a better trade value, and then you can go wherever you want." But no, I'm going to cry at home. I'm going to sit. I'm
going to sit in my $1 million pool with thinking about Kendall Jenner, even though I'm banging all these other chicks. Well, you're losing money, buddy. You're losing millions of dollars. You got to sell 2 houses in Jersey.
Yeah.
Come on, man. These millennials, idiots.
Yeah, just play the game.
Just play the game.
We don't need you to do anything excellent for us. Yeah, you're gonna get booed coming on the court.
Let me ask you a question. You ever work a job you didn't like?
Of course I did.
That right? And did you got paid though? Right? You would like the money, right?
Yeah.
Right. We all did. We all work. Look, most of the freaking people in this world do jobs that they don't like, but they got to make money. They got to work. Ben Simmons is doing a job that he loves and is well overpaid, for what he does. And he's not a great player. He's a very good player. He's an all-star. He's not a superstar yet. And then he's like, I'll just sit at home, because...
Well, I was completely done with Simmons and never wanted to see him in a Sixers uniform ever again after that playoff game where he literally... he could have went up and dunked the ball and, for 2 points instead. He fears contact because he doesn't want to go to the line. Oh, no, I'm going to have to shoot if I don't make it, 2 free throws, and he passes the ball to Thibault under the net. And, it was just like...
And refuses to take responsibility
Yeah.
after the game and is upset that Doc Rivers when asked the question, do you think Ben Simmons is a championship caliber point guard? And he goes, this is after a loss like that where you're eliminated. I'm not really, I can't answer that question right now, is what he said. And Ben Simmons' feelings are hurt. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, and you see, Brett Brown, when he was head coach, imagine what he had to deal with Simmons. And, like, everybody this is another example of that. It's the player, maybe not exactly the coach, that, dude, nobody can deal with this kid.
Well, he's been coddled. I mean, Brett Brown had him in Australia when Ben Simmons, who's from Australia, played in the tournaments over there in Australia, and Brett Brown was a coach for Australia. So he's been coddled. So they suggest to him, Ben, can you do this? Can you shoot more? And Ben's like, you see him in the gym in the videos hitting threes. He has the capability of doing it. He just won't do it. Now, why won't he do it? I don't know.
I have no idea. It's like he's scared of the lights of all the lights are on him shooting the ball, and it's like, dude, we really don't care if you miss 8 out of 10. Just shoot the ball. Like, we need you to develop that part of your game. At least you're trying.
See,
you won't even go out there and try. That's what people don't understand. Philadelphia is a heart and soul on the fields city. Okay. You don't care how bad a player's playing as long as he is trying everything he can. When you see a player who's blatantly not developing their game and not doing something that's going to help the team out because they're selfish, Philly doesn't like that.
No.
And everybody gives us a problem on, you're too hard on players. I'm sorry that we don't like.
Well, we're a very intelligent
we don't like
city.
pussies here.
We're a very intelligent city. There's no pussies in Philadelphia, but we're a very smart fan base.
We are smart.
Very smart. I mean, if you look at Simmons, even if he missed 8 out of 10 jump shots, right? Well, see, what they're doing is during the regular season, these teams don't play defense until the last 5 minutes of a close game in the fourth quarter. So what happens is his numbers are inflated. Playoff time comes around. They know that he won't shoot jump shots, so they stay back. They stay back to the basket. They sort of put up like a picket
I'm not going to
fence.
give you the lane that you
They're
want.
not going to have the lane, no.
You're going to have to shoot it.
I dare you to shoot it. And you know what? He can't get to the basket.
He won't
shoot.
He can't get to the basket, then he'll throw it away because he's scared of contact and doesn't want to go up for a shot where he
doesn't want to go to the free throw line.
Might go to the free throw line and miss 2 free throws.
Exactly.
Then his confidence will be destroyed even more because he's scared. He's scared.
He's a scared, pompous, arrogant, coddled millennial.
I can't spend any more time on Ben Simmons because he's not going to be in Philly much longer. So
Ben Simmons, you got to go. All right, Todd.
On to the Eagles?
Eagles, yes,
on
sir.
Eagles, okay.
Oh, Eagles.
Eagles talk. This has been a very weird season.
Oh, it has. You know what? I thought they actually would be worse than what they are.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule that they had. But.
Yeah, and they've lost a couple close games. I mean, they could definitely be better than where they are right now if they would have.
Charger game was a tough beat.
But again, I'm going to talk about Hurts because I was in on Hurts because he can run the ball and he's fast and dynamic and athletic. But something that has really showed over the past couple weeks is that he has no arm, no ability to throw the ball downfield. And if you can't get big chunk plays of 30 yards to Devontae Smith and other receivers, what good are you to me?
Not accurate.
Yeah, inaccurate.
57% completion percentage for his career. 60 this year, but still, it's not good enough. The elite quarterbacks are
There's a lot of interceptions,
63 to 65.
There's a lot of interceptions.
I mean, does he have receivers to throw to other than Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert? Probably not. But there's been lots of times I've seen where you can't get the ball there.
Didn't Gardner Minshew get Rager a couple catches in the Jets game?
Yeah, he did. So you're telling me Gardner Minshew, you like him to be your starter for the rest of the season? Is that what you're saying? The Todd father. You're telling me that we have a quarterback controversy.
Well, you always have a quarterback controversy in Philly because, someone comes in and plays, gives you a what was it, a 131, what was it?
He had a 97.5% quarterback rating for the game against the Jets. But you're playing the Jets.
No, he had a 131.
Was it 131?
Rating.
Or is that for...
His career is a
97.
94.4 quarterback rating for his career, which is pretty, I think it's pretty good. And
small sample size.
Small sample size.
Jacksonville, though, that's a terrible organization. And he was 6-6 his first year, 1-7 his second year, which again.
And he came in for when Nick Foles went down.
Nick Foles,
Eagles legend.
But, Eagles Super Bowl MVP.
Nick Foles came in for him after he got traded down in Jacksonville.
What do we call Nick Foles? Big Dick Nick.
Well,
Yes, Big Dick Nick. And we're not talking about anatomy. We are talking about heart in a big game. But that was...
I would say big balls, Nick, because
go.
he was airing it out in the Super Bowl. But anyways,
big balls,
I'm
Nick.
about Gardner Minshew. He's 39 touchdowns for 11 interceptions in his career.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad for a guy.
Hurts with the same amount of time frame. Hurts is throwing a lot of interceptions.
Yes, he has. You have those stats? I think it's 16 touchdowns to 9 interceptions for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
That's what it is. Unfortunately, they picked Jalen Hurts in the second round to be a Taysom Hill type player and to back up Carson Wentz because the Eagles think that they're a quarterback factory when in essence they're not, because they were given Nick Foles basically by Andy Reid. Because when Nick Foles was pretty much out of football, Andy Reid gave him a chance as a third-string guy in Kansas City and suggested to then Coach Doug Peterson that they bring Nick Foles back as a backup or third-string guy. And we know what happened there. The rest is history. So
I like Hurts as a Taysom Hill kind of player where if he comes in just to run the ball. I've seen Taysom Hill do it multiple times where it's like, boom, he's the only one in the backfield. He gets a shotgun pass and he just goes down. He just goes downhill and tries to run the ball. And I think the Eagles offensive line, they bring in another tackle. I think they can run the ball. They have a big defensive line. I think that would be a very solid play for the Eagles to have Hurts in that kind of.
Well, their offensive line is the biggest and best in the league.
Yeah, I mean.
So, and that's without Brandon Brooks.
It is.
And so his career is probably pretty much done here.
That's the only good thing I really see about the Eagles' future with a lot of the players that are here is that the Eagles' offensive line is going to be good probably for the next 4 years.
Yeah, barring any injury.
Injuries.
Landon Dickerson out of Alabama has some foot issues, ankle issues, but this year it just doesn't seem like it's a problem. So, I mean, look, the Jason Peters and the Brandon Brooks days are over. Those guys are... gone.
Yeah.
As far as Peters is in Chicago now, but he was always hurt here, and same thing with Brooks. He gave us some productive seasons, but he's always injured, and he has the issue with anxiety, which it's another story. But you got that offensive line now working. You need to run. When you have a quarterback like Hurts, you need to run.
And they are running. I mean, you look at the rushing attempts that they've had over the past 6 games. It's more than any Eagles team or most teams in the NFL in the past 20 years, and they're winning games with it. So, I mean, their attempts, they're getting 35, 36 rushing attempts a game. I mean, you look at New England on Monday night, they ran it 46 times.
Yeah, a lot of that was weather related. But they do that anyway.
But look, that's only 10 more rushes than what the Eagles are doing in the past 6 games on average. So the Eagles are running the ball a lot, and they're getting wins. They just need to stick to it. The one game that they lost, they stopped running the ball, and that was.
Let me ask you a question: if the Eagles would have ran the ball more in the first,
Giants.
Yeah.
They passed a lot in the Giants against.
Well, they passed 31 times in that game, but they also ran the ball over 30 times. The problem was they passed too much.
If you look at the first half, the pass to run ratio, in the second half they got back to the run. They started scoring, but in the first half they didn't run the ball as much, and
they you seen he threw 3 interceptions for the full game, 2 in the first half.
Yeah, as much as you can keep Hurts from throwing the ball, because I mean, no matter what, he's eventually going to throw an interception in the game if you keep allowing him to throw the ball.
Well, he doesn't have the accuracy. He doesn't have the arm to get the ball there, especially if.
No, and he stares down receivers.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, he's like, oh, like, I saw Gardner Minshew, and that's what I liked about it. I saw him a couple times against the Jets where he's going through his reads, bam, 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 and then he knows that guy's over there in the flat and nobody's there, peripheral-wise, and he turns real quick and gives him the ball. And it's like, now the guy can get yards after the catch.
Yaks.
Yaks. Yeah, you can get yaks and get you 4 extra yards, and that's what you need to win football games.
Yeah, I just wish they would have ran the ball more in the beginning of the season. They might be looking at, instead of being 6-7.
You could
you
possibly
know,
going for the division championship.
Yeah, right. You could be tied with Dallas or
Especially
maybe even
with
ahead of
Dallas,
them.
especially with Dallas as the last game on your schedule.
Well, as far as running backs are concerned, you're a big Kenny Gainwell guy.
I think he should get more carries than he's getting. He averages 3.8 yards a carry. He's got great hands. He catches the ball out of that backfield. He's got speed. I think they should utilize him more, but I know they got Boston Scott and Miles Sanders. But
Jordan Howard when healthy.
Yeah, Jordan Howard when healthy, but you know that they don't like to run him as much anymore.
He's like that, like Garrett Blunt type. I mean, Jordan Howard averages 5.37 yards per carry. He has 51 attempts for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns in a small sample. He has a pedigree from the past. So does Boston Scott. That's why he has a little bit of Darren Sproles in him.
He was like that.
Yeah, he was like that. I agree with you with Kenny Gainwell. You got to give this guy a chance. The guy, you have a stat where he has over 200 and some yards receiving and rushing.
He's got more this year. He has 8.8 yards per reception. Reagor has 8 yards per reception, and Rager's a wide receiver. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, I mean, look. First of all,
he's got more yards than Reagor this season receiving.
He has 209 yards in 55 rushing attempts. He has over 200 yards receiving. Now,
way more than
Reagor has 208 yards and 26 catches receiving. So Gainwell does have more, not by much, but he's a running back. Your receiver should.
He's got more. Yeah, your receiver should
have more.
Way more.
Now, is that a product of Hurts not being able to get him and other guys the ball, or is it a product that Reagor isn't that good?
Reagor was targeted 4 times in that Jets game for 2 receptions of 20.
Dropped a major ball in the Giants game at the end.
Yeah.
2 balls, actually.
Let's talk about Jalen Reagor real quick, because I got to talk about him being on kick returns and punts. It's absolutely terrible, and the fact that either Boston Scott and or Kenneth Gainwell are not returning punts or kick returns is ridiculous. Kick returns, he's 21.3 yards. Where do you normally start at, Al? Where do you normally start at if you take a knee in the back?
If you take a knee, you start at 25.
Okay.
So what's that mean? That's telling me
21.3 yards.
They're not. If he's starting back, he's not even get back to the 25-yard line. No.
And when he does, maybe it's 2-3 yards.
You're
taking the ball out. I see him all the time. He tries to pick these lanes and wait, and he doesn't get north or south. And it's like, dude, sometimes you just got to run past the guy or juke him out real quick. You can't run around him. No. You're not that fast, bro. You're not that. It's not college. It's the NFL. No. These guys are quick. Okay, you got to be able to have your moves and get past the guy and pick lanes. But you want to get outside everybody because you don't want to get hit by contact. Punt return.
You know who they actually drafted after Jalen Reagor, Minnesota, right?
Oh, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. How's he doing these days? Multi-1,000-yard season.
He's the only reason Minnesota is winning right now.
Exactly.
Dalvin Cook. That's all I'm saying.
And Thielen's hurt every now and then too.
Hurt. So. And then you look at Whiteside. Who could you add for Whiteside? You could have DJ Metcalf.
You could have had plenty of guys. DK Metcalf, Whiteside. I mean, look, listen.
DK Metcalf. Yeah.
Hallie Roseman. Your drafts haven't really been great at all. Lightning hit you caught lightning in a bottle with signing guys, which is basically what you did. You're good at, and the cap. You got lucky in 18, Nick Foles, and those guys you brought in, Chris Long, those guys for the Super Bowl. But
I got a hot take later on about the draft, actually.
You got a hot take.
Last 10 years.
We gotta wait?
Yeah, we're going to wait till the end to do it because I want to get back to this regular punt. But
I love hot takes and I love hot
I'm going to
takes.
give it to you right now.
I love hot cakes too,
Yeah.
man. I do. I love hot cakes.
Who doesn't?
Yes, I do. Hey, right?
So,
Maple syrup.
10 years, in the past 10 years, who have the Eagles drafted who are still on the team or have left that are above average players?
10 years, so that's 2011.
2011.
That are still on the team.
That are still on the team or have left that are above average players in the NFL. We will come back to that later. That is going to be a
I'm going to have
hot
to
take.
think about that. I didn't do that in my notes. I didn't even write that down.
Luckily, I have it all.
Wow, this guy. See, the Todd father. He's prepared, isn't he, people?
So I have it written down. He's going to give me the players. He's going to give me the players that he thinks.
Oh, this is embarrassing if I don't know this.
Yeah.
I pride myself on knowing Philly sports.
All right,
oh,
ready?
my God.
Ready?
This would be embarrassing.
Reagor, punt return.
Wow.
Reagor, punt return. What's his average? Punt return.
Would that be 21.3? I don't know. Was that kickoff?
No, that was kick return. Punt return. What's his punt return yard average?
Probably 6.4.
6.4 yards, yeah.
Oh, how did I get that
21st in the NFL.
Because the Todd father has it written down.
Yeah.
I looked at his notes, people. All right, again.
21st in the NFL.
That's terrible.
Why isn't Boston? Why isn't you're an analytical team? Boston Scott's fielded kick return 3 before.
Yeah, his numbers are better. Well, he's a kickoff guy.
He's kickoff. He could do punt return or kickoff.
I mean, you could
Put
throw
Kenneth Gainwell as the punt returner.
You could throw him back
Boston
there. You could
Scott
throw Boston
the kick
Scott.
returner.
You could
I
throw
don't care.
back. You could even throw back Quez Watkins too.
Quez Watkins. I wouldn't do Devontae Smith. I don't want him.
Nah, you don't want him getting hurt. He's too brittle too.
Yeah, he's too brittle. Just keep him
thin
on.
right now. His first year, he's a rookie. He's skinny. Yeah, he's got to put 15, 20 pounds of muscle on. What do you think? Over the next few years before you throw him in a Deshaun Jackson type role.
Look, we all thought Nelson Aguilar was a terrible second round pick as a wide receiver, but at least we won a Super Bowl with him. That's all I'm going to say.
He made some big plays.
Made some big plays. Dude, Reagor is a travesty of a first round pick that it's going to go down as one of the worst Eagles picks in history. They keep talking about him like he's going to come back or turn the edge or something like that. It's his second year. He's in my point of view, You
ever seen him play TCU? He was mainly a kick returner at TCU, Jalen Reagor. They drafted him because Deshaun Jackson was on the team. They brought him back, and it was just a total travesty, that situation. Guy played 3 games, but they drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson because they wanted a guy who was a kick return specialist, and they could mold him into like a Deshaun Jackson type wide receiver, and that just didn't pan out.
kick return specialist, huh?
Wasn't any good in as a receiver.
You identified
TCU.
him as a kick return specialist.
From my eyes,
kick return specialist with
those
18
averages.
With those averages, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a disgrace.
Howie Roseman shouldn't lose his job. At the end of this, when we do the last 10 years, everybody's going to agree that Howie Roseman should be.
Now, he should be fired. But let me ask you a question, Todd. When we do these hot takes, are we going to have hot cakes with the hot takes, or are we just going to do the hot takes?
We're just going to do a hot take.
So, next time we do a show together, are we going to have hot takes with hot cakes?
I guess I'll have to bring the hot cakes.
Yeah, bring the hot cakes.
All right.
I mean, we're sitting here. I mean, you're going to do hot takes, and we're not even going to have hot takes. It's ridiculous. All right, go ahead.
All right. That was all I had on Reagor.
That was all you had on Reagor? Oh,
He's
Todd father.
He's
unbelievable.
He's got no yards. He's got no receptions. He drops balls. He runs bad routes. I don't think I have one good thing to say about the kid at all. And I know I'm being harsh, but
Let me ask you a question.
bad draft pick.
Reagor will not be here in 2 years.
Okay.
All right. They realize they made a mistake. Hurts will not be here as a starter within 2 years. Given the fact that they really don't have but one wide receiver, one legitimate, one tight end, and they have one legitimate running back, and Miles Sanders, and he's been hurt. Um, what grade would you give Nick Sirianni as his first year as head coach of the Eagles with the stuff he's been given? Came in here from Indianapolis. He was given all this stuff. And last year with Carson Wentz pretty much playing all year, they won 4 games.
Look, am I a fan of the guy's personality? And, like, I don't know. I've seen him say some stupid things.
Yeah, he comes off as being a little bit goofy,
but
quirky.
As just purely a football coach and how he's handled the team, look, they can run the ball, okay? They proved that against the Saints, who at the time were the number 1 rushing defense, and they ran for over 200 yards on them. And, you had struggles early on in the season. You're getting your number 1 wide receiver is a rookie.
Right.
He's a rookie.
A damn good one who's not getting the ball enough.
Who's not getting the ball enough. You got Hurts, who's basically a rookie quarterback. Yeah, he had a couple starts at the end of the season last year, but he's basically this is his first year with the reins. You got they got rid of Zach Ertz. What 6, 7, 8 games in, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then you got Dallas Goedert. He's still young. You got
26.
And then you have a defense who really has no identity.
No.
Other than the fact that they can stop the run, but the linebackers can't cover receivers.
No, and then been this. For some reason, they think they don't need linebackers.
I don't understand why. Look at your linebacker core when you won the Super Bowl.
Kendrick Hicks,
Bradham. Nigel Bradham. Those are 3
solid,
above average to average.
Yes.
Linebackers.
Yes,
and you got a great defensive line.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't consider linebackers a priority. I mean, they didn't want to pay Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is still productive. In fact, I think he's better than Dallas Goedert. That's just my opinion.
I mean, Zach Ertz is probably going to go on a Super Bowl trip with Arizona right now.
That's quite possible. You've seen what he's done. I mean, he really
scored 2 touchdowns last game. He scored
dominating.
2 touchdowns, dominating the other team.
I mean, it's
you don't want to pay him money. He's not worth it. You just drafted Dallas Goedert, and it's like, well, who else do you have on the team? Oh, well, we'll get stuff back for him. What'd you get? A 4th round pick?
Yeah, you got a 4th round pick. Here's the thing.
And a player.
They at that particular
time, you got a cornerback.
They drafted Dallas Goedert so the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't. That was the whole reason, and they go with the 2 tight end offense.
Yeah, and then now look who Dallas has. Schultz. You're going to be dealing with him. I'm telling you, you're going to be dealing with Schultz. He's
you're going to be dealing with Dallas for a long time.
I know, but Schultz says you thought
thought
Jason Witten was gone. Guess what? They just basically got the same dude who's going to play for the next 10 years at tight end and probably gash you and hurt you for the next 10 games.
Yep. Unfortunately,
5 years.
Unfortunately, you have more than just him to deal with. You're going to have to deal with that defense.
CeeDee Lamb.
You got CeeDee Lamb on offense. You got Amari Cooper. Cedric Wilson ain't a bad 3rd guy. But then you got Trayvon Diggs, who has 9 interceptions already. Tony Pollard's a good compliment to Ezekiel Elliott.
I think Pollard will end up being their starting running back in the near future within 1 or 2 years. I know we're talking all over the place now, but.
Well, look, I mean, it's important that we talk about that because, the Eagles. You got the draft coming up. They're going to have 3 picks. We thought that they'd have better picks. We thought Miami would be terrible, but Miami's making a run. But in the middle of a show, he's looking for his phone. Look, you see this? I'm trying to do a show with the Todd father. And
we'll edit this out.
He's looking. We're gonna leave it in. We're gonna show these viewers that this guy here can't pay attention to a stinking show.
Oh, he's throwing the pen down.
Unbelievable. What's more important? He's got to whip out the phone. Have you seen my phone? You haven't seen my phone during this whole thing.
It's my hot take. Because we're talking about drafts.
Hot takes without the hot takes, Todd.
We're talking about the draft, and we're talking about players and prospects and what a team has, and look, Dallas has drafted all those players that we just named. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, they free agency, but they drafted Ezekiel Elliott, Pollard,
Marcus Lawrence.
They drafted all these guys, good draft picks that are key. Dak Prescott. List goes on.
All right, so you got these hot takes?
All right, so.
I wish I had hot cakes, but.
Who in the last 10 years have the Eagles drafted that is an above average player that's either on the team still or
That's a tough one.
not on the team.
You have some good
Somewhere
ones.
else in the league.
Kelsey,
Yep, Kelsey's one.
Fletcher Cox.
That's another one. Wait, Fletcher Cox was 2012.
You said 2011.
Kelsey was 2011. Okay. So those are before. Those are still under Andy Reid.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
one.
Just saying, those are still under Andy Reid.
Yeah, Lane Johnson was Chip Kelly pick.
That was a Chip Kelly pick, not a
Howie Roseman.
Howie Roseman pick, and neither were Fletcher Cox.
You have Carson Wentz on that list because he's with Indianapolis and he's doing decent.
Carson Wentz is on that list.
That was a Howie pick.
That was.
He did move up to get him at number 2.
And I will say it was still a good decision in my view because we got a first round pick.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so
I agree with that. So that's 4 right there. Miles Sanders, another one.
Miles Sanders, 2019.
Yeah. Now you're talking about above average players now, not just average players.
Above average players. I put a bunch on the list that I was like you could consider them average to above average.
Right. Are you talking about this last draft too?
Yeah.
All right. So you got
this last draft was
one
of the worst draft. Dude, this last draft, I looked at it again. This last draft was.
Are you talking about the one with
draft.
Devonta Smith?
That's the only player that they got, dude. And Kenneth Gainwell.
Landon Dickinson too with Alabama. He's a great
my bad, not this last draft. The draft before that with Jalen
Reagor. Yeah, that was terrible.
That is a terrible.
That's terrible.
Draft.
Yeah. So we got 5 guys in that I picked. So if we got to go back, there's really not. Nelson Aguilar.
You want me to give you the list?
Nelson Aguilar is decent.
Yeah, Nelson Aguilar. He's on the list.
He's decent.
All right, so
he's flourishing over there, and he's a good complimentary receiver in New England behind Bourne.
Yeah, I got it in order right now from 2019 to 2011.
Well, that's 8
Miles
years.
Sanders. I didn't count this season because they're all rookies, and you can't say that they're going to be above.
So you're doing the last 9 years, then?
I guess you can't.
All right. So you said 10. Now you said 9. Now we don't have hot cakes with the hot takes.
Dude, he's just all mad at me. Anyway, so Miles Sanders, 2019. Dallas Goedert, 2018. I would say Avonte Maddox, 2018. Josh Sweat, 2018. So that was a solid draft class there.
Dallas Goedert, yeah. Maddox is
Derek Barnett, 2017. Is he above average? Won a Super Bowl with you.
Mr. Fumble Recovery, Mr. Penalty.
Yeah, Mr.
I line up offside every
at the
play.
Most crucial point in the game where it's like a 3rd and 5 and you need the ball back because you're down by a possession and there's 2 minutes left and this guy will go off sides and
It's either that or defensive holding.
You said Carson Wentz.
Number 96.
Isaac Salomalo.
Yeah, I would say that.
2016?
I would say Jordan Mailata. How about that pick 2 years ago?
That was a good pick.
I believe he was a 7th or 8th round pick. He was a rugby player with Australia. Did you know that?
Yeah, rugby player with Australia. I saw at one point he almost got a fumble and picked it up. Yeah. I was hoping it was a fumble because I want to see Jordan Mailata get the ball from a fumble that Hurts did or something like that and just start
run fuckers over.
Start going.
That's
and
right.
See what happens.
That's right. Run those fuckers over.
Because I've been saying, why wouldn't you add another offensive lineman and then just put him in as a fullback?
Dude, you could put him.
You could give him the ball as a fullback
at the 1 or 2. Dude, he could be this version, this decades version of, or the 2021 version of William the Refrigerator Perry. You ever hear him?
No.
He was a big, fat, 350-pound defensive lineman in the 80s, 85 Bears. And he was a defensive lineman. You couldn't run on him. When they got the ball at the 2 or 3, they just put him in the backfield, handed the ball off, smashed everybody over like they were bowling pins, dude. Every time. It was insane. Can't you do that with Jordan Mailata? He's 6'8", 370.
Jordan Hicks, 2015, should have kept him.
That was a terrible move.
Who's he with right now?
He signed with the Cardinals.
Who's he with right now?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Oh. What's their record, Al? Really good, right?
Wow, aren't they 10-2?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, Jordan Hicks is the starting middle linebacker for one of the best teams in the NFL.
Huh.
No, can't pay him.
Can't pay him. Nah, can't pay him. Nah,
All right, Lane Johnson.
because we got to go and draft Jalen Rager because someday we're going to pay him.
Yeah.
All right.
Lane Johnson, 2013. I didn't have anybody from the 2014 draft. That was the
Was that the Marcus Smith draft?
That was the Marcus. Nobody from the Marcus Smith draft made it on my list.
Oh my goodness
Not
gracious!
one.
Unbelievable.
It's a whole draft that you just threw away.
That's Chip Kelly. I'm not blaming Howie Roseman on that one. Chip Kelly screwed that up.
Lane Johnson, 2013. Zach Ertz, 2013. Fletcher Cox, you already said him.
Yeah. Chip Kelly drafted two guys.
Michael
Zach
Kendricks.
Ertz and Lane Johnson. That was
Michael
it.
Kendricks, 2012.
Yeah, another Andy Reid pick. Still playing.
He's still playing? Who's he
He-
playing
he-
for? Who's he playing for?
He was with Seattle. He still might be with Seattle, but he's banged up.
Yeah, I think he is in Seattle still.
You know, but again, there's a guy who I'll take him over any of these slot
Vinny
guys.
Curry, 2012.
Who would you guys rather have, Alex Singleton or Michael Kendricks? Me, I'll take.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, please let us know in the comments below.
Anything that you have anything to say or disagree with or want to comment on, please leave a comment below this video. We would greatly appreciate it.
Also, if you would like hotcakes during the next hot takes, please
please
put that in the comments
let us
below.
know. Yep.
Would love a hotcake right now.
I got Vinny Curry, 2012. Nick Foles, 2012.
Vinny Curry was not bad.
Jason
Nick
Kelsey, 2011. Brandon Graham. If we're going in 2010, Brandon Graham, Nate Allen.
10 years.
Kurt Coleman.
Nate Allen. Wow.
Nate Allen.
Kurt Coleman, Ohio State. He gave us a couple nice seasons.
Yeah, and he went other places in the NFL and had some good
Carolina.
seasons too, yeah.
Nate Allen went to the Raiders.
Yep.
So, well, Todd, it's Thursday night.
It's Thursday Night Football.
It's Thursday Night Football, and we got picks. We got our top
picks.
game.
Yeah, here we go.
We're going to give you the
getting into
Thursday
picks
night
now.
games. We'll give you the Thursday night game, our pick, and we will also give you our 5 picks for Sunday and the Monday night game. And then we'll come back, and we'll see how our record is during the year for the last 5 weeks. And the Todd Father here, the Todd Father of Soul, Todd Capiello. How about this? Todd Capiello is an Italian. Is he the whitest Irish-looking Italian?
0% Italian.
How's that happening if your last name is Capiello?
Well, my father is his actual cousin. We're technically second cousins, I think.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. But my father is his actual cousin. My father was adopted by your uncle,
Yes, the
Yep,
great
your
Louis
uncle.
Capiello.
Louis Gabiello. So I'm actually all Irish, but I have the most Italian last name. It's like,
I will say this, my friend. You are not only my cousin, you are my friend, and you are blood to me,
yeah,
brother.
of course, brother.
Mwah! That's right. You are the Todd Father. All right, let's go get down. Ugh. Did you shower this morning?
Yeah, dude. Why are you kissing me?
Hey, look, it's love. It's nothing else going on. It's love. All right. Anyways, Minnesota and Pittsburgh. The line's 3.5. Still 3.5. I think it might be 3 right now.
Minnesota just got upset. Division game by Detroit. Pittsburgh has won their division game against Baltimore, which I think we both agree that there might have been some wee-woo in there of some cheating.
Oh, the NFL. The National Fixed League.
National Fixed League. But I think Pittsburgh will lose to Minnesota, and Minnesota will cover the 3.5.
I happen to agree with you. Pittsburgh is notorious, even in their heyday, when they were really good, of playing on the road in NFC teams, stadiums, and just shit in the bed. I also like Minnesota. They're coming off the loss. Pittsburgh's coming off a win. Game they really shouldn't have won, to be honest. They should have went for the tie, kick the extra point. But I can't blame a coach trying to win the game, for 2 there. But I like Minnesota to win maybe 27-21, 24-20 in that range. They cover the 3.5. So what do you like as far as games this week on your top 5 games?
Top 5 games are going to be...
Kind of similar. I mean, I got Browns-Ravens. It's a division game. It's the second game of the year. You have that? You have that? You like that game this week?
The Browns, what is it?
Well, the Browns are 2.5.
Cleveland, Baltimore?
Yeah, the Browns are 2.5 point home favorites against the Ravens, coming off a loss. The Ravens are.
I got Baltimore in that, to be honest. I know it's in Cleveland. It's basically a pick 'em because Cleveland's only favored by 2.5 points. So they're getting 2.5 points or 3 points at home. I just don't see Baltimore having another bad game again. Like they still got a good defense. Baker Mayfield is so inconsistent. I can't even begin to.
He's banged up. He's very banged up.
I never know what quarterback's showing up for Cleveland. So
separated left shoulder, got some foot issues.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to go with Cleveland. Cleveland has been playing very inconsistent, bad. They went through that whole Odell Beckham crap, which again, he was a distraction, because he always wanted the ball. So I think this is also the second game between these two, and Baltimore beat them 2 weeks ago, 16-10 in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson threw 4 interceptions in that game. He's gonna have a better game.
He's gonna have a better game.
But I think because it's the second game and Cleveland they have a lot of talent. They're still pretty good. I think Cleveland's gonna win that game by 3.
I don't think so.
So we have that.
Unfortunately, we have that difference. So we'll mark that down.
We'll mark that down. We'll come back, and trust me, we will come back. Because I don't want this guy thinking he is a better football handicapper, even though he played the game and I didn't. I still don't want him to think he's a better football handicapper than me. But anyway.
My next big game is I'm picking Washington to cover 4.5 points against Dallas in Washington. Washington's playing a lot better football, we all know.
4 in a row.
Unfortunately,
4 games in a row
pretty sure that tight end is going to come back, even though he got booted out of the game. He didn't get carted off, so I think
Logan Thomas.
Thomas. I think he'll be starting still, and they're a lot better with him on the field. They got a two-headed threat with the running backs.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson, McKissick.
Yeah, McKissick. He's
and that Taylor Heineke. He's not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
He can play some ball.
I like the Redskins in that as well. I think they're on fire right now. Dallas is up and down, inconsistent.
Yep.
As
Jerry Jones would say, it's not Dak Prescott. My receivers are running bad routes.
Oh,
I read that today.
Oh, yeah. Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones coming in with his mouth again.
Yeah, they'll never win another Super Bowl, I don't think, in our lifetime. But they got talent. Something always happens, especially with Dak Prescott and the quarterback situation they had going there over the years, Romo and him. But all right, I have Kansas City minus 9.5 home favorite against the Raiders.
And I got the Raiders coming in and beating Kansas City. Kansas City just came off of a big win that they absolutely crushed the other team, in my opinion.
Oh, that was the game the other night.
Sunday night game.
Yeah, when they who'd they play Sunday night? I forget who that was, but Denver. It was a division game, 9.5. That's right. Yeah.
I think coming off of that division game, it's going to be hard for them. I think Las Vegas needs this.
Well, it's a playoff implication for them. They're 6-6 right now.
Yep.
So
I think Vegas needs this real bad. I think they can come out with the win. Well, I don't think they're going to come out with the win.
You think they'll cover the 9.5?
I don't think Kansas City. It's a division game. I don't think Kansas City.
Plus, it's the second game they played. Kansas City smashed them in LA, 41-17.
Yeah.
So I think that Kansas City will win the game. I'm thinking that the Raiders will cover. They'll score a little bit on Kansas City, but Kansas City's defense is playing really mighty well right now. That game, they actually really shouldn't have covered the Denver game because they were up 22-3, but that last touchdown they scored was a pick six. Bridgewater was throwing sixes and interceptions all night long in that game.
That guy,
Teddy Trashwater, as you like to call him.
Trashwater.
Yeah, he is trash.
How's he even in the league?
Yeah,
how is he still in the league?
But listen. We know how the NFL is catering to certain situations and certain things going on and a lot of leagues are. But we're not going to comment on that because we don't want to provoke a certain, let's just say, ethnicity, if I said that correctly. All right. You have the Chargers and the Giants.
Yeah. There's 4 division games this week. No, my bad. That's not a division game. Chargers and Giants.
No.
We have 4 games this week that are highest point spreads, and I think the New York Giants are going to cover against the Chargers. 10.5, minus 10.5. I don't think Chargers are going to win by 11.
Although that's not one of the games on my list. Why did you choose that game? The Giants right now can't score. They might even be going with a backup quarterback in that game. A guy by the name of Jake Fromm. But I understand why you're thinking there is because Chargers can't stop the run, and Saquon Barkley, if healthy, could run all over them.
Yeah, and the Chargers are just they've lost.
No, I don't have COVID, by the way. I just
they've
got some sinus sniffleitis. But
neither do I. I just got tested
yes,
for work.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
but no, the Giants, or my bad, the Chargers just aren't as good as I think everybody thinks they are. I don't think they're a 10.5 favorite over the New York Giants. I'm sorry. They struggle in some games to put up points.
they got too much talent to be 6-5.
I know. I don't
7-5.
understand it, and that's what
too
I
much
don't
talent.
understand. I
don't
know why.
understand that either.
I don't know why they're not playing better football, but I don't trust them to beat the Giants by 11 points.
All right. Well, you know what? I respect that. I think I took the Chargers in a separate pool, and I think the Chargers smash them. But then again, those points are high. You know, we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants not only covered that 10.5, but won the game because the NFL, National Fixed Football League, the things that happen these days. Holding on the offense, number 75.
It's an absolute total crapshoot sometimes when you're doing picks.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes I don't
terrible.
even look at if the team's good or not. I look at what's the best interest of the NFL for this
Sure.
game and how it has impacts later on in the season for playoffs to make every game count.
You look at that Baltimore-Cleveland game. Cincinnati's involved. They're 7-5. Baltimore's 8-4. Cleveland 6-6. It would behoove the NFL to have Cleveland or sway the outcome of that game towards Cleveland in order to keep the division bunched up. So late in the season,
It's a tight division.
It's a very tight division.
Very tight division.
You know, and Pittsburgh's also involved there too. Pittsburgh, if Pittsburgh wins tonight, Pittsburgh all of a sudden is 7-5-1.
Which I thought that they were dead.
You know, so did I.
I've seen multiple videos of like every team just like, I thought you were dead. And then they just come back, and then they suck. And then another team from that division. That division's probably the hardest division in football.
Yeah, it is.
Right
It
now.
is. It's the best division in football, I think, as far as like
Records go.
competitiveness. I got Buffalo walking into Tampa Bay at plus 3.5.
I agree with
and
Al on
beating
this one.
Tampa Bay and the great Tom Brady.
Yep.
Well, I actually like Tom Brady now.
Tampa Bay is a good team this year, but Buffalo's been struggling, and I think they're a better team. I think they get their head out of their
You
ass.
think Buffalo's a better team than Tampa Bay?
I think Buffalo gets their
Wow.
head out of their ass
Their
this
heads
week.
way up in their ass.
Yeah, way up, dude. They I don't know what's been going on with them for the last 5 weeks, but
I'm trying to picture that, a head up an ass.
I know.
Ugh, I don't want to do that.
Buffalo's doing something that they shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Buffalo's underachieved drastically this year, and they got so much talent. I think it's the quarterback.
Josh Allen. I mean, but is
He's
it
up
Josh
and down.
Allen?
He's up and down, and Josh Allen's up.
I mean, dude, this dude was throwing some good dime passes in 55-degree gust winds.
Yeah, he was.
And if it wasn't for the
weather, he might have beat New England.
I
New
don't
England,
even-
man. I'll
I
tell you
don't
that,
know.
coach.
I don't know if it was rather they would
Bill
have beat New
Belichick.
England or
Prove
the
me
NFL
wrong.
was like, hey, we're just gonna allow New England to do whatever they want. But
Yeah, let's cheat for New England again, as they did before. Shot clock, play clock. Oh,
play clock, yes, I saw a play clock a couple times where it was ticking down and then it
10
went up to
to
25, and I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And the injury at the end of that game was awful.
Does the league want New England and Tampa in the Super Bowl? How would the ratings be for that one, Todd Father?
Well,
That
that
would be
would
pretty
be
dang high.
pretty,
Yeah. That would be pretty high, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Keep on the lookout for that. The cheating for both New England and
how many
Tampa.
more picks is that?
Well, we all have Buffalo, so. You have anything else on the list? You have San Francisco and Cincinnati. You have that game on your list, I see.
Yeah, I think
You like that game.
San Francisco goes in and beats
You think
Cincinnati
Cincinnati's young and they're
Yeah,
a
they
little
beat
fraudulent
Cincinnati
right now?
outright. Joe Burrow, as he is a good rookie quarterback, I think, in my opinion, he's just not ready for to have a winning season yet. I don't think
He's young.
he's young.
Yeah.
I think he'll go maybe 500, maybe one game under.
Yeah, 9-8.
Yeah,
Yeah, 8-9.
8, 9.
Right now they're 7-5, so they'd have to lose 4 to the next 5. And this is a winnable game.
It is a winnable game, but I think San Francisco is still hot. If Deebo Samuel is coming back this week, which from what I read, it looks probable that he might return. He's practiced.
Yeah, that would be huge
be
for them.
huge
That would
for
be huge for them.
And I think they would beat Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati should be favored in this game, and they are, even though that they're at home. They just lost a really bad game to the Chargers.
Yeah, they
Really
might lose
bad
2 in a
game.
row.
They just lost a really bad game to the Chargers.
Yeah, I look at it like this. I think Cincinnati's going to probably win the game, only because 49ers got to travel pretty much cross country in the cold. They got to play up there in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is coming off a loss, and they're pretty good. They're not ready for prime time yet, but I think San Francisco isn't as good. But hey, look, anything can happen in the National Fixed Football League. I have another game on my list. Is Chicago and the Packers. Now, that's a division game. No playoff implications for Chicago, but discount double check, Mr. Heavyweight Champion, Aaron Rodgers, the last game they played in Chicago, still said that Chicago is still his bitch. When he's like, I own you, after he scored a game-winning touchdown near the end of that game to put that game away. I took Chicago and the 12.5 this week.
I took Chicago
That's
too
right.
and the 12.5 because
Same reason? A little bit of revenge
I
or
just
division?
think it's a division game. I don't like picking division games that are over 9 points. They're just always close. You saw it last week against the Eagles. I guarantee everybody betted the Eagles against the Giants 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, everybody thought that would be a cupcake game.
But
not me. I took the Giants. Sorry.
The Giants came in there, and you see it all the time. They should smash this team, and it's like, well, it's a division opponent.
Right.
They play them twice a year, every year. Like, there's bad blood between, and guys play out on those games. So,
yeah, division games are always tough, so it's hard. You got to really look at the game before. You got to look at trends. You got to look at injuries. You got to look. There's a lot of things that factor into division games, even if one team's 10-2.
And you got to look at playoff implications because I know they
10.
want. You got to look at playoff implications because I know they want Minnesota, and it's going to come down to Minnesota or Green Bay for that division. And Green Bay's going to win that division. They're going to win the division easily. But I know the NFL is going to want to try to keep it close.
Yeah,
and that's why I think. Hey, they lose to Chicago. They lose a division game.
They could lose to Chicago.
They lose a division game
especially
to Chicago. I could see that happening. Minnesota beats Pittsburgh. Boom, that's a game. Now Green Bay's down a game in the division.
Yeah,
and also they lose.
Happen.
Minnesota wins.
You could have a Minnesota Green Bay.
They're within 2 games of Minnesota at the end of the year with
We'll see what happens.
5 weeks to go.
4 weeks to go.
4 weeks to go.
Look, the Packers will probably end up winning that division going away.
I
just don't
think so too.
I think they may have a blip, in this game. Chicago is going to be pissed off. It's a division game. 12.5 is a lot of points. I think Chicago can cover in that game. The Monday night game, real quick, we can go over more on that. Next week, what happens, but we're not going to be here Monday to discuss it, so we're going to do it today.
All right.
I took the Rams getting 2.5 going on the road at 10-2 Arizona to win.
I'm taking Arizona.
Wow.
I think the Rams get outplayed. I think the Arizona's offensive line keeps Darnold and Miller away from their quarterback.
Aaron Donald, Von
and
Miller. Jalen Ramsey back there. They got him back there.
Yeah, but I still think Arizona's. You've seen the Rams struggle this year to put up points, and I don't think they're gonna have a fun time putting up points in Arizona.
Well, here's what I have to say. I'm going by trends.
Division game again.
Arizona blew them out in L.A. Week 4 or 5. When L.A. was 4-1 or 4-0 at the time, they handed them their first loss, and L.A.'s been kind of streaky since. They're sitting at 8-4. They have some good wins on their belt. They beat Tampa Bay. They have some terrible losses on their
They
thing.
don't have
It's a revenge game.
Cooper.
They don't have Cooper. Well, is he out? I thought he.
Or no,
Thought he's back. But they don't have.
No, they don't.
They're short guys
yeah.
on offense. They
Cooper
don't have
Kupp's
Robert
back.
Woods. He's out.
Robert Woods is
He's
out.
done.
Cooper Kupp's in, I think.
Yeah, he's in. He was banged up a little bit. Look, whether they're in or not, I think the Rams are going to go in there and beat them because again,
On Monday night.
what would behoove the NFL? Arizona's 10-2. Rams are 8-4. Arizona loses. They're 10-3. Rams are all of a sudden 9-4. You got a tight division. So and it's a revenge game where they got blown out. I don't see Arizona.
I
beating
think
them.
this is Arizona's chance.
Oh,
I think it's their chance to come in and establish
Unbelievable.
pure dominance in
pure
the league.
dominance. Oh my God. Well, Todd, the Todd Father, it was great having you on the
Yep.
show. Next week, this time we'll be back to
Yeah,
go over
we'll
the
be
picks
back.
from last week.
Definitely.
You got anything on tap for the weekend? You getting ready for the holidays?
Yeah, I got stuff I got to do for work on Sunday, but Saturday I don't think I'm doing anything. Just
Spend it with the
Yeah.
lovely Amber.
yeah, luckily I'll be done work before like 3, so I'll get to watch the end of the second half, the 1:00 games, and
Excellent, excellent. Look, man, be
Yeah, I
safe
am.
out there when
Yeah.
you're going around with these criminals, and have a great weekend, and we will see you again next week. Thanks again for coming along.
No problem.
You're the
Thank
man.
you for watching. We appreciate it.
And we will see you next
We'll
week.
see you next week.